My name's Todd Stavrakis. I'm the moderator of the local Self-Development of People Committee in the Presbytery of Philadelphia. And one of the things that we do is we support local groups that are working to literally self-development. It is part of a program that began in the 1970s as the denomination sought to respond to the increasing situation of poverty in the United States, and it continues. On March 14th, SDOP has a special Sunday that is set aside by the denomination. And so with that coming up, we wanted to share a little bit about the two organizations that SDOP is supporting this year, and understand that it's the gifts that come from congregations within the Presbytery that go to the One Great Hour of Sharing is how SDOP is funded. So it's another reason we want to get the word out there. This morning we have with us two representatives from the organizations that we are supporting. The first is Pastor Michelle Simmons with the Why Not Prosper ministry in Philadelphia. And in particular, the program that we're working with them is Sisters with a Goal. And then we also have Jean Burke, who is one of the leaders of the Southwest Philadelphia Food Pantry. So I just wanted to have them share a brief message with you about the work that they are doing. Jean, do you want to go first?
Sure. As Pastor Todd said, I'm Jean Burke, and I work at the Commonplace as the Director of Operations. And the Commonplace is kind of a combined ministry. We work in concert and collaboration and in partnership with Salt and Light Congregation, which was formerly known as New Spirit Community Church in Southwest Philadelphia. And though New Spirit and Grace Christian Fellowship came together in the midst of the pandemic to form Salt and Light. Really quickly, what the project that we have been working on for the past year, for the past year, is the Southwest Philadelphia Food Pantry. And this program started as a result of the pandemic that started on, or at least that hit Philadelphia on March 13th, 2020. And I just want to say that the Commonplace, we didn't start this program. This program was started by a group of community members and congregants at Salt and Light who recognized a need for food justice in Southwest Philadelphia, and recognized it because they are residents of Southwest Philadelphia and that they were experiencing food shortages in their own homes themselves. So what they did, completely independent of the church and the Commonplace, was hooked up with Phil Abundance, and they started going down to Phil Abundance and grabbing food and asking the church if us or they could give out the food on a Wednesday, which turns into a Saturday at the church. And we said yes. But what we realized very quickly was the service that they were offering was a very needed service. Southwest Philadelphia is designated as a food desert, is one of the poorest or underserved areas of Philadelphia, and is largely looked at as a forgotten area. So there were already food justice issues in Southwest Philadelphia, but the pandemic exacerbated those issues, mainly because you had parents who were now out of work because they couldn't go in and because of the social distancing and stay-at-home orders. You had children who were now home because they were displaced by school and everyone wanting to be safe. And when you have that mix, it tends to blow things up in this area. Parents no longer had any income to support 3 meals a day, especially when they were only providing one because kids would go to school and just do breakfast and lunch. So all they had to do was worry about dinner. So now they had to provide for all 3 meals when the school used to take care of it. So what we did was we started providing, this service to the community, and it grew exponentially. It started with 20 families. It grew to 80 families. We thought we were going to do it for 16 weeks, and now we are at a year, and we serve somewhere between 80 and 100 families every single week. So we're happy to be able to do it. I'm extremely proud of the team that we've had, the group of people who saw the need and came together and started to do it at the church. So now we have congregants and volunteers from all over the community who come and help serve the community they live, work, and worship in. And I think it's an amazing thing to see.
Yes, absolutely. So good morning, everybody. This is Reverend Michelle Simmons. I'm the founder and the director of Why Not Prosper. Why Not Prosper is a transitional house for women coming from prison. And this is my baby. When I had 8 months clean from drugs and alcohol myself, God gave me a vision. I remember looking for housing for myself. And it was this church in Norristown. And I went to them and said, can y'all pray for me? I need to get my kids back. I need to get a house. And then the pastor said, well, next door we got an empty building. And I walked through that building, and God gave me the vision on that day to open up Why Not Prosper. And we sit today with, this is our 20th year anniversary.
Wow.
That vision came to pass in 2000, and I ran around the city of Philadelphia, Norristown, and all the prisons saying, God told me to open up a program for women coming from prison. So that's how Why Not Prosper got started. Our vision is to help them come home, to stay clean, to make family sustaining wages, and then to go ahead and get their children back and be able to take the crutches from underneath of their arms. And we did that successfully for 12 years, helping thousands of women transition back and reunite with their family. But also we had a plentiful amount of people that also was unsuccessful. And so I started looking at data and looking at why is these women keep going back and forth to jail. And what happened was, Pastor, they had a bunch of barriers, like they couldn't get a job. It was so many laws and policies that wasn't in favor of success. And so we started jumping into advocacy. And as we jumped into advocacy, we did more focus group with the women themselves that was coming home, asking them, what do you guys need? You know, what do you think could be repaired? You know, where do you gaps and barriers and loopholes? And then women started sharing. They was like, Rev, they shouldn't take our kids back till we get clean. You know, the law about probation having to fill out all of these fees and fines and pay all this stuff, you know, is not fair. The system is designed for us to fail. And so I really started looking at policies a little bit deeper, Pastor. And what happened was the women put me at the table, and they was like, this is what we need to do. And I said, it is? And they said, yes, it is, Rev. We need to get started letting the politicians, the legislation, and everybody know that these laws not fair, especially for formerly incarcerated women. And so during COVID, you know, for the last 12 years, the ladies has been pouring into me the different initiatives for Why Not Prosper. And this year during COVID, they kind of named themselves swag. They was like, we going back up to the prison. We gonna make sure we there when the other ladies get out. You know, we want to make sure our sisters behind the wall could vote, right? And so they just went on fire, just doing policy, you know, bringing recommendations to me, and then they were kind of unstructured. And with the support of SDOP, we was able to leverage them out and get them structured, get them a focus, a flow chart, and some goals and objectives. And they have really been on fire. So, you know, one of the things we're working on right now is looking at what do we need to do to change these policies. People be on parole for 10 years, okay? Their case was 6 months to a year, but then they had 3 years probation, and they violate these women for just changing their address, right? They violate them for dirty urine, and they have to start that 3 years all over again, consequently turning into 10 years. So we're looking at what do we need to do to tell the city of Philadelphia about policy and changing it. So these are some of the activities of swag. We did a manual for the women behind the wall. We do love bags every month for the women behind the wall. Right now, they're in a place called shelter in place. That means they only come out for 1 hour. And so we are making sure they got like crossword puzzles, affirmation, a calendar. You know, this is the creativity of the women themselves who was in the same seat as the ones behind the wall. So that's pretty much what Swag is doing right now. And Why Not Prosper, I guess, is the motherboard, right? That's kind of keeping them focused, growing them up, putting them in leadership circles. One of the Swag women is graduating in May. So we're excited about the work of Swag. We're excited about the partnership with SDOT. And we are excited to be sitting next to our partner, Common Place. So we're excited for what 2021 is going to bring us.
Right. Well, we're so pleased to be supporting these groups. And I really encourage you all to consider your support of self-development of people, as well as the 1 great hour of sharing as the offering comes forward. So thank you, Pastor Michelle. Thank you, Jean, for your work, for your commitment to working towards the kingdom. God bless.